Training camp is heating up in New England, and the Patriots are serving up some real surprises as they push through the grind of preseason preparation. What's been striking over the last few days is the way some young players are stepping forward and shaking up what we thought we knew about the team's depth chart, especially on the offensive line. It's a story that really shows how unpredictable these camps can be, and how every day brings new questions and fresh answers about who will ultimately start when the regular season kicks off. The biggest name grabbing attention has to be Jared Wilson, the rookie from Georgia who was drafted in the 3rd round. What makes his emergence so fascinating isn't just that he's a rookie earning a starting job, that happens occasionally, but where he started and what that means for other players on the roster. Wilson was brought in as a center, someone expected to battle for snaps in the middle of the offensive line, but instead he shifted to left guard and has stepped into a starting role there. That position has been a battleground, and one name you would expect to hold on to it is Cole Strange, the former 1st-round pick who spent last season showing promise and even played center toward the end of last year's campaign. But the dynamics at camp have shifted dramatically. Even with Garrett Bradbury sidelined by what looks like a rolled ankle, the coaches didn't move Wilson back to center or shuffle Strange to guard to cover the gap. Instead, they kept Wilson at left guard and turned to Ben Brown, a 3rd string center, also drafted in the 3rd round to fill in at center. Strange, who had been playing center late last season, didn't get the nod to slide inside. This signals a clear shift in confidence and trust in Wilson's abilities on the left side. That's a strong statement, especially given how difficult it is for rookies to beat out veterans or higher draft picks for starting roles in their first year. On top of that, there's Caden Wallace, a tackle from Penn State drafted last year, who has been moved inside to guard and is rotating with Wilson and Strange. This reshuffling tells you everything about the uncertainty surrounding Strange's place in the starting lineup. For a former 1st-round pick to be pushed to the fringes by 2 rookies is not something the Patriots expected at the outset of camp. It raises the question, will Strange end up just a depth piece, or could he find himself even further down the depth chart? Injuries can change everything, and with Bradbury out, the coaching staff seems determined to see what they have in Wilson, which means Strange's margin for error is slim. What's remarkable about Wilson is how quickly he's won over teammates and coaches alike. Players have been openly praising him, and even Caden Wallace spoke highly about his movement and technique, calling him explosive and effective, both in pass protection and when driving defenders off the ball on running plays. Hearing that kind of praise from a fellow rookie who's also fighting for his spot is impressive and hints at Wilson's potential to be a long-term piece of the Patriots line. If you think about it, the left side of the line could end up being run by 2 rookies, Wilson at guard, on the established left tackle Drake May, who also came in as a rookie. That's a bold move by the Patriots, but the early signs suggest they have good reason to trust these young players. Protecting the quarterback, especially one like May, who relies on timing and quick decision-making, starts in the trenches, and the offensive line has to gel quickly for the offense to click. Beyond the offensive line, there are other players whose stock has risen during these padded practices. On defense, Clayton Chasen has been a revelation. The edge rusher has been everywhere on the field, showing a tenacity and versatility that make him a real weapon in obvious passing situations. With veterans like Keon White and Harold Landry on the roster, you might expect Chasen to be overshadowed, but he's holding his own and creating disruption, making quarterbacks uncomfortable and forcing mistakes. His ability to pressure the pocket and change the tempo of drives is exactly what the Patriots need to keep opposing offenses on their toes. Meanwhile, in the secondary, the injury woes of Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis have opened the door for DJ James, who has stepped into a bigger role than anticipated. James has been thrust into the spotlight, asked to cover top receivers and hold his ground against the starters, and so far he's doing just that. Sure, he's had a few plays where he got beaten. That's almost inevitable when you're suddenly elevated to face top-tier talent. But the overall impression is positive. James is showing that he can handle the pressure and contribute on special teams and in nickel and dime packages. Should Gonzalez or Davis miss extended time, James looks like a player the Patriots could trust to start and maintain solid coverage. On the offensive side, another player making the most of his opportunities is Kahan Booty, who has stepped up to fill a key role, while Matt Collins remains sidelined. Booty's been consistent and reliable, especially in his chemistry with Drake May, which is critical given May's growth as a young quarterback. The Patriots are clearly willing to play the long game with their tight ends and receivers, but Booty's performance has definitely kept him in the mix. Defensively, Q's Tonga is another name that deserves attention. The veteran defensive tackle has been rotating in alongside Milton Williams and Christian Barmore as Barmore works his way back from injury. Tonga's role, especially on early downs, is crucial. He's that space eater in the middle who can disrupt run plays and absorb blockers, allowing linebackers and edge rushers to make plays. Alongside Tonga rookie Joshua Farmer, a fourth-round pick from Florida State is grinding hard to earn his spot. It's the classic rookie hustle story, trying to break through with a mix of talent and effort. Farmer isn't quite as polished as Tonga, but his work ethic and flashes of potential suggest he could carve out a role in that defensive tackle rotation. Of course, not every player has been shining during camp. Tight end Gene Bell has struggled to make a significant impact, and with the Patriots looking at several other options at that position, his roster spot is far from guaranteed. The tight end group is clearly a point of evaluation for the coaching staff, especially considering some injuries and the need for depth behind established starters like Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. Bell, along with a few other players like offensive lineman Ledden Robinson and wide receiver Chisholm, have had limited chances and have yet to capitalize fully. Robinson, despite some flashes, hasn't done enough to separate himself, and Chisholm's opportunities have been mostly relegated to special teams rather than offense, making it tough for him to shine. The Patriots have also made roster moves, waiving 3 players recently, including Yair Durant, who had returned for a second stint with the team as an offensive tackle. With depth already present at tackle from players like Justin Herron and Morgan, Moses Durant's release wasn't a shock, but signaled the ongoing battle to solidify the line. They also waived skill position players like Dea Blankimus and running back Tavon Williams, clearing room to bring in fresh faces that might better address the team's needs. And speaking of new faces, the Patriots have signed 2 tight ends to bolster the position. Tyler Davis, a local prospect out of Boston College, brings size and experience, having spent time with several NFL teams, including Jacksonville and Indianapolis, though injuries have limited his recent play. At 6'4" and 252 pounds, Davis offers positional flexibility, something the Patriots value highly in this role. Alongside him, Cole Fotheringham, an undrafted free agent from Utah, adds competition. Though his professional experience is limited, having spent time with teams like the Raiders and Texans, Fotheringham brings depth and a chance to prove himself during camp. With Garrett Bradbury's injury looming as a question mark, the Patriots also signed center Alec Lindstrom, a Boston College product like Davis, who has experience in the USFL and brief stints in the NFL. Lindstrom's addition signals that the Patriots are committed to sorting out the center spot and giving Jarrett Wilson the chance to focus on excelling at left guard without worrying about shifting back inside. All these moves paint a picture of a team in transition, pushing rookies to rise, veterans to hold steady, and the coaching staff to make tough decisions about who fits best into their vision for the season. The next few weeks of training camp and preseason games will be critical as players compete for roster spots, prove their value, and try to cement their roles on a team hungry to improve and make noise in the upcoming NFL season. As the Patriots continue to navigate the trenches of training camp, the competition remains fierce and the evolving storylines only deepen. Beyond the offensive line and tight end battles, the defense is showing its own shifts and shakeups, with young players striving to carve out roles and veterans looking to maintain their grip on key positions. The mix of rookies, mid-career players, and seasoned pros, all pushing for snaps, is creating an environment ripe with opportunity and challenges alike. On the defensive front, one of the more intriguing developments is the emergence of Kiava Tizino, a linebacker who has quietly impressed coaches during padded practices. Though he hasn't yet garnered the headlines of some others, Tizino's ability to read plays quickly and execute in space has made him a candidate to see increased snaps, especially on special teams and in nickel packages. His quickness and instinct for the ball give the Patriots a versatile option behind the starters, and he's demonstrated a relentless motor that coaches reward in these early evaluation periods. Meanwhile, the edge rusher competition continues to heat up. Keon White remains a dominant force when healthy, but his status has been somewhat limited by nagging injuries during camp. That has opened the door for others like Clay and Chasen to assert themselves. Chasen's ability to convert speed into power and get after the quarterback consistently has made him a player to watch closely, his relentless pursuit and disruptive play style fit perfectly with the aggressive pressure-heavy scheme coordinator Matt Patricia likes to run. If Chasen can keep this momentum going, he could become a vital third down weapon that forces opposing offenses to game plan differently. In the secondary, the spotlight has been on the rookie corners, specifically DJ James and Calvin Jackson Jr. James, as mentioned, has stepped up admirably given the absence of veterans, but Jackson Jr., the younger rookie, has also shown flashes of promise. Though his technique and consistency still require polishing, his athleticism and ball skills hint at a high ceiling. With defensive backs coach Josh Boyer emphasizing fundamentals, Jackson Jr. is getting plenty of attention and looks poised to contribute on special teams initially while gradually increasing his defensive snaps. Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez's injuries have obviously affected the depth chart, but the Patriots have managed to keep the back end competitive with players like Marcus Jones, a special teams ace who doubles as a cornerback, and Marcellus Dial, who has worked hard to stay ready and reliable. The secondary's depth will be critical throughout the season as the Patriots often rely on a diverse group of defensive backs to match up against different offensive personnel and schemes. Special teams, often an overlooked phase, is getting a closer look this training camp. Players like Cheesem, who has struggled to make an impact on offense, have carved out roles here, showing how important it is to contribute in any way possible to make the final 53-man roster. The Patriots historically value versatility and willingness to play special teams, which can make or break a player's chances at sticking around, especially those on the fringes of the active roster. Offensively, there's an ongoing battle at wide receiver and running back that's worth mentioning. The Patriots, despite focusing on their strong defense and offensive line, understand that a dynamic receiving core and a dependable running game will be crucial to Drake May's success. Young receivers like Jacoby Myers have been consistent in past seasons, but the team is always looking to add depth and new playmakers. Players such as Chisholm, though currently limited, remain in the mix alongside rookies and undrafted free agents. Hoping to catch the coach's eyes with explosive plays or consistent route running. At running back, the presence of Tavon Williams and Ramondre Stevenson creates an interesting dynamic. Stevenson, a powerful back with breakaway speed, continues to be a focal point of the running game. However, the Patriots value a diverse backfield and look to complement Stevenson's style with versatile backs who can contribute in the passing game as well. That's why the competition for the final roster spots at running back remains intense, with players like Williams fighting to prove their value on special teams and as change-of-pace options. The Patriots front office and coaching staff have also made it clear they want players who embody the team's culture. Hard workers, smart players, and those who bring a selfless attitude. This is why players like Kaham Booty have earned praise their ability to stay ready, work through adversity, and contribute wherever asked makes them invaluable during the grind of a long NFL season. As we move closer to the preseason kickoff, every practice counts and every snap in the upcoming games will be a chance for players to make their case. The Hall of Fame game on August 7th will be the first real test for many of these players, especially rookies like Jared Wilson and DJ James. Those games are not just about the wins or losses, but about evaluation. Who can execute at game speed? Who can handle the mental and physical demands, and who can show the coaches they're ready to contribute on Sundays? Injuries, as always, are a wild card. Garrett Bradbury's rolled ankle, while not believed to be long-term, has already influenced how the Patriots shuffle their line. How quickly he returns and how effective he is upon return could affect the offensive line's rhythm and stability. Similarly, injuries to Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis in the secondary force the team to rely on depth players who must rise to the occasion or risk the team's defensive effectiveness. The Patriots also appear to be thinking creatively. When it comes to positional flexibility, moving players like Caden Wallace from tackle to guard speaks to a broader strategy of adaptability. In today's NFL, the ability to slide along the line, fill gaps, and play multiple roles can keep a player on the roster and improve the team's resilience. This kind of versatility is particularly valuable in a league where injuries can decimate one position group and where game plans require quick adjustments. The new signings of tight ends Tyler Davis and Cole Fotheringham highlight this approach too. Both players bring different backgrounds and experiences, with Davis's history in the NFL and USFL and Fotheringham's stints with multiple teams. Their presence adds competition and potential flexibility for the Patriots, who need more than just their starters to fill in when injuries inevitably strike. These additions also reflect the team's desire to evaluate every available talent, thoroughly leaving no stone unturned in the pursuit of roster optimization. The decision to bring in Alec Lindstrom as center also underscores the Patriots' commitment to depth and competition. Lindstrom's journey from Boston College to the USFL and various NFL stops shows a player who has persisted and developed. His arrival means the Patriots aren't just relying on their rookies to hold down the center spot, but want a blend of experience and youth, increasing the chances the line remains stable even with injuries. As training camp progresses, it's clear the Patriots coaching staff is patient but decisive. They are giving rookies like Wilson a chance to earn their roles while also preparing to pivot quickly if players falter. The blend of young talent and veteran presence is a delicate balance to maintain, and how well the team manages this dynamic will influence their early season success. For fans watching these developments, the excitement lies in the unknown. Who will emerge as the breakout stars, who will step up under pressure and secure a starting job? The Patriots have always been a team that prizes development and strategic roster moves, and this camp exemplifies that ethos. From undrafted free agents to first-round picks, everyone has a shot, but the window is narrow and the stakes high. Looking ahead, the preseason games will provide crucial data points, but so will the ongoing practices, meetings, and off-field work. The Patriots culture demands excellence, not just in physical skills, but in preparation, film study, and teamwork. Players who embrace that culture and rise to its demands will be the ones who find themselves on the final 53-man roster. The pressure will only mount as the calendar ticks closer to the season opener, and every day in Foxborough brings new challenges and opportunities. For those who make the most of these moments, the reward is a chance to wear the Patriots uniform on Sundays and contribute to a team with championship aspirations. In this environment of constant evaluation and fierce competition, the stories of players like Jared Wilson, DJ James, and Kahan Booty are just beginning. Their journey from hopefuls to potential starters or key contributors encapsulates what training camp is all about. The relentless pursuit of improvement, the fight for a chance, and a dream of playing at the highest level. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors have begun swirling around the Patriots locker room after a recent press conference held by none other than David OLAJIGA, a figure whose words always carry weight in the sports community. During the interview, OLAJIGA made a pointed comment that has sparked debate among fans and analysts alike. He suggested that the Patriots are currently playing at a level below what is expected from such a storied franchise. His statement, delivered with a subtle mix of frustration and honesty, has set off a flurry of speculation about the team's internal dynamics and the possible reasons behind this perceived decline. Observers wonder if OLAJIGA's critique hints at deeper issues such as coaching strategies, player morale, or even impending roster changes. The fact that such a candid remark came during a public forum only adds fuel to the fire, as insiders rarely air grievances so openly. Many are now questioning whether this is a turning point for the Patriots or merely a moment of turbulence in an otherwise steady trajectory. The buzz is palpable, and sports commentators are dissecting every word, trying to understand the true state of a team that once dominated headlines with their prowess on the field. Could this be the start of a rebuilding phase? Or is OLAJIGA simply expressing momentary disappointment? Only time will tell, but the speculation is already intense.